Hello everyone and welcome back to the Berserk manga read through. Today we're going to be reading through chapters 53 to 58. Last time we ended our episode with Rickett being confronted by multiple demons who had just wiped out a lot of the Band of the Hawk camp, but was saved by Skull Knight. Interestingly enough, we also had a cameo in that section from the Count, which we saw in the Black Swordsman arc, so he's up and kicking and doing monstrous demon stuff around this time period as well. I'm not sure if he'll pop up again, or whether chronologically we just have to wait until the Black Swordsman arc for him to appear, but there you go. That's where in the timeline Guts will at least see him. We'll have to see if he pops up here and again, maybe during a future certain Eclipse event, maybe. We will have to see. That could be very curious. But today, yes, we're starting with chapter 58 as 1,000-Year Thiefdom begins. I believe we are now getting into the rescue effort, rescuing Griffith from the deepest, darkest pit of this tower. So we've had Charlotte take us all down here, navigate through the castle grounds. So let's have a look, because I'm very familiar with this spiral staircase from watching this scene in the anime of Guts rushing up the staircase, killing enemies. But let's see it in manga form, because this looks great already. So the whole crew going down. Impressive. This goes a lot deeper than the part of the tower above ground. As Charlotte is poking into particular cells, shoving their face up against the grating. Highness! Oi! You okay, princess? Yes. Maybe you should have waited up top after all. He's right, Highness. No. I'll go. I swear it. I want to see Lord Griffith as soon as possible. I hear you. Stand up. I can't quite stand now. Oh, you gotta be kidding. This is why I can't stand the upper crust. Here, I'll carry you. I couldn't. Quit taking so long. Otherwise, you wait here alone. If you don't like that, hop on. Sorry it's not going to be as nice as a princess's carriage. Now let's go. Thank you for your trouble. Casca giving weird looks and then turning around. They gotta leave it till after the mission. No emotional talk on the battlefield. You gotta do that. You gotta do that later. How far down does this hole go anyway? I heard this from the king, but the underground prison was built after the time of the Inquisition, and it goes down no further than about the depth of the tower. But the hole itself existed long before the prison was built. Its depth is greater than any mountain in all of Midland. Mountain? Just what's at the bottom of this hole? Do you all know the origin of this kingdom's name, Midland? No. Does that have something to do with this hole? It goes back a long time, about 1,000 years ago. In those days, this continent saw constant warring between small city-states and many different tribes. Apparently, it was an age of rival warlords. Continuous warfare ruined the land, and due to food shortages, plague, and the like, it's said that fully 1/3 of the population died. Don't sound too different from nowadays, no progress. But finally, someone appeared who put an end to the warring age. Supreme King Berserk. He was an emperor who was able to subjugate dozens of nations and establish an age-old empire encompassing this entire continent for the first and only time in history. No one knows what country he came from or when or how he raised an army. No records whatsoever remain regarding his account prior to his arrival on the stage of history. Look at the detailing and armor design on this guy. Interestingly enough, his shoulder pauldrons resemble some of the knights that were faced before, earlier on. Like the Supreme Elite Mega Purple Hippo Knight guys, you know. Their pauldrons look similar to their designs. Look at the horse's little faceplate as well, with that statue on it, and then the eye holes. That's like you see the detail on this is absolutely incredible. The eye holes being like a beast's mouth. You see the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. The shield as well. All the detailing in the chest plate, on the knees even. Like all of the design work. You know, just the sheer amount of effort that goes into the detailing on this stuff is incredible. It's like when someone draws something like this, they draw like a lot of approach to art is focus on, you know, the prominent features and then fill in the rest, and it kind of just completes the image. But like when you look like stuff like the background characters over here, like you don't need to draw all of these characters. This totally suffices, but like he doesn't skip out on character detailing whatsoever. You could just give him nothing on the shoulder pauldron, on a knee pauldron. Just give him a knee and that's it. But no, there's a whole goddamn bust of a person on there. Same with on the horse and everything. It's incredible. It's incredible detailing. Sorry to distract there, but like just my thoughts on that is costume, character design, all that kind of stuff is fantastic. Even when you're like just looking at the battlefield stuff over here, got your old school Viking looking helmets. So cool. Sounds kind of like Griffith. From the merciless and ruthless way of fighting the Emperor would use against those enemies who opposed him, it seems he was given names such as Demon King and the King of Galloping Death. But there was one other reason for this. Look at that skull. Whenever Emperor Gyseric went into battle, he would don a dreadful helmet shaped after a skull. The old school Skull Knight with a lionish beast head on the forehead and then a skull face. And it looks like it goes up as well, so you can reveal their face from the mouth of the skull. That's absolutely great. So that's in shadow in that scene. Huh. Oh, he's gonna, and then because Guts has had a brief encounter with Skull Knight, which I don't think is the same. I don't think it's the same. I mean, we don't know, do we? What we know is Skull Knight is random knight dude. He looks different to this though, like vastly different, but I don't think this would be the same. I think this might be like a coincidental tale that has got his attention because he's met the Skull Knight before. We got a big double spread here. Couldn't be. See, he's thinking about Skull Knight. Ah, that one. I've heard of the fairy tale of the Skull King. So, there was a model for it. According to the legend, I think he gathered workers from all over the Empire and forced them through hard labor to build a large capital city. Then the king lived in the utmost extravagance while levying heavier and heavier taxes on the people. Yeah, I don't think this is the same at all as Skull Knight. The city ended up becoming a melting pot of feasting and pleasure, at least I think. But God finally decided he couldn't condone the Skull King's deeds and sent 5 angels. By lightning and great earthquakes, the city was erased from the face of the earth without a trace in the span of a night. 5 angels? Specifically 5. Weren't there 4 of them? Oh yeah? But what does a fairy tale like that have to do with this whole? That is not just some fairy tale. At the least, the city did exist. Apparently, the name of the city meant land in the middle of nations, so it received the name Midland. And that city that fell into the ground by way of natural calamity is said to be sleeping still, just as it was then, in a place untouched by either sunlight or wind. At the bottom of this hole. What? Curious about this though, I'm pretty sure the God Hand is 5 members, is it not? It's Big Brain Man, 2 that look really similar, and the woman, And doesn't, I guess Griffith makes up the 5th member of the God Hand, right? Unless I'm forgetting one. But it's, what's interesting is it's like it sent 5 angels. Someone else, weren't there 4 of them? Are these angels actually not angels at all, but actually the demons of the God Hand, potentially? I don't know. That's just like, as soon as I read this, that's just instantly what I thought of. Is that true? All of that was taught to me by my history teacher. I don't know if it's true or not, but it seems that after the Emperor's death and the collapse of the imperial capital, the continent gradually became the territory covered with assorted countries we know today. The Emperor had no children, so it isn't a direct line, but it is said that even out of all those countries, the Midland royal family is the only one that carries Gyseric's blood. Also, it is fact that investigative teams have descended this hole many times, but not one person returned safely. It is said the Tower of Rebirth was built in order to seal that unclean past. You don't say. So that was our unknown history tour. But if this place has that much history, we might see some ghosts. Ah. Bummer. What are you doing? Oh, lighting the way down. Whoa, look at that. Holy shit. Well, there you go. Who threw the torch down? Or did she drop it? Because she goes, Kanska dropped her torch? Yeah, she did. Bummer. Wow, so the torch lights up down here, revealing rubble and structures of times past. And piles of bodies also. Oh, and they are marked with the brand of sacrifice, dude. Those 5 angels, or was it 4? Certainly, this was, oh my god, dude. Yep, this was, God sent his angels, huh? Marked them all with the brand of sacrifice, and then, murdered them all. Wow. Yep. Interesting. What is it? My imagination, huh? Nothing at all. Certainly not being chased or followed in the dark by a plump little thing. That's it. Griffith. He's been at the bottom of this darkness for a whole year. Let me down, please. Highness. Lord Griffith! Lord Griffith! Guts and tries to reassure Karska, I guess, in this moment. Dude, these are the moments, like I said, I'll repeat myself in previous episodes, but these are the parts that I don't remember if this was captured or cut out of the anime. I don't remember any of the Gyseric information at all, or the previous, like, or the history of, like, Midland or anything like that. It might have alluded to, because we're getting close. We're getting close to the event, so it might have alluded to all of the unfortunate souls at the bottom of the hole, but god damn if that ain't cool to look at. And here we go, we're opening the door. Lighting up the path. Talk about stale. Griffith? Griffith! Maybe he's in another cell. That cannot be. I'm sure it was the lowest level. Shh, someone's here. God. Griffith? That is the end of 1,000-year fiefdom. Being left with that image in the dark. Let's move right into chapter 54. So we can continue it immediately. Griffith! God, man. Reunion in the Abyss. Oh, look at the back. This was so hard to see when I watched the anime for the first time as well. There I was like, what he's been through for a whole entire year is just so painful. Like, it's messed up. Here's our reunion in the abyss. Griffith? Man. The way that, like, so much of his skin is drawn right now. And he's barely even... Oh, my God. He's just barely even a person anymore. Like, all the parts of his skin that's been, like, cut away. The insides of his hands. His wrists, even. And his ankles, like... And his back. Like, that dude could not move. And he is forced to stay alive to feel it all. Oh my God, his arm and leg tendons are cut. His tongue too. That man's not talking anytime soon. Casca, the key! Casca! Wow, removing the faceplate of the helmet. Like, the fact that they don't even show it, I found, is then they did this in the anime as well. The fact that they try and take his helmet off and they're actually like, let's keep that on. Let's keep that one on, I think. Let's all vote to not showcase that. Stay back. Get the hell away. This can't be. That can't be. It can't be Griffith. And then he opens his eyes, comes right into contact with the reflection of Guts' face in his eye. Griffith! He puts his arm on his shoulder. God, it's horrifying how this is drawn. And Guts embraces him and holds him. Wow, this is actually quite beautiful. It's sad and tragic because just Griffith's state of mind is he blames Guts for this. He blames Guts for where he is right now. And Guts doesn't know or feel that. He's just like, well, I left to pursue my own dream. Like, Griffith wouldn't do what he did because of me leaving, right? But he did. And this is just awful to look at. Lord Griffith. Let go. What? Release me. Why? What's happened to Lord Griffith? Tell me. Ooh, and even like Casca getting like washed over with a cold sweat, like her heart beating. And they got shut in. Yeah, that's far enough. I'm this place's jailer. Don't be afraid, Your Highness. I'm kind of a mess to look at. You certainly are, my friend. You people can't get away now, because I locked the door. It's like, dude, do you understand that Guts could literally just kick that door down by blowing on it? I called the soldiers, too. They'll come running soon, so give up nice and quiet. Your Highness, be patient a bit longer. He's standing on like a heightened thing so I can look through the door. This means I've got some new toys again, and His Majesty will be happy with me too. Hey. Fucking Guts. You the one who did all this to Griffith? No use getting mad. This door is 4 times normal thickness. Even if you hit it with a hammer, it won't budge. Besides, His Majesty said I could do whatever I wanted, so I did. So it's not my fault. I've never had a pupil as pretty as him in my care. I put a lot of effort into torturing him. First, to keep him from running away, I cut the tendons in his high arms. Sorry, I'm reading this so painfully. He cut the tendons in his arms and legs. Then whenever he wasn't eating or sleeping, I'd take off his skin and nails. I'd use hot irons boiling water. You name it. This past year I've seen to him constantly, like we were husband and wife. I'm also the one who nursed him so he wouldn't die. You couldn't split us apart. We wash so close. And you know, when you're as professional a torturer as I am, beauty isn't just skin deep. When I peel the skin away, I can recognize the beauty of muscles and blood vessels too. Oh, and I was so moved. When I opened up that beautiful face, the pink muscle that peeked out at me from the wound, his skin and flesh are 1 in 100. No, 1 in 1,000. Oh yeah, this is the best part of my collection. Look, this, my good luck charm. A tongue. His tongue. Like I said, it's no use getting mad. Only for me to never have to voice that character again. Thank you very much. And Guts to throw that sword right through the door and right through this disgusting creature. Oh! And there you are, buddy. Look at you. Ooh, and there goes your tongue. Ooh. Seeing as how you're gonna die, you ain't getting into heaven double-tongued. Ooh. Moves that tongue immediately. There you go. Fuck. Forget it. Your breath reeks too much. You're going to hell. I can't hear you. Speak clearly. Drops him right down the pit. And he can join everyone else down there. An arrow gets shot at Guts' feet. Don't move! That's far enough. Throw down your weapons and surrender quietly. Miss Casca, I will. Highness, you really shouldn't. Guts? But you really gonna mess with him right now? After what he's realized has just happened for the past year? And that's the end of Reunion in the Abyss. Let's move into chapter 55. As we see, most likely, the rampage of Guts. Keep up with me. Guts. And with a vicious fury in those eyes, slicing right through everyone, away through chapter 55. Just heads and limbs and bodies all flying down to the bottom. How dare you! You resist! Oh yeah, you better move. What are you doing? Shoot! Shoot! Man's like the Flash right now running up these stairs. Everyone is dead. Human shield from the arrows. Slicing right through everyone. Oh man, this shot with the eyes. Like I said, I've made this comparison before when we've been seeing Guts in these moments where it's like all the humanity and emotion that you can see in eyes disappears in these moments because we look at each other's eyes to understand our emotions and what we're feeling. Like there's a lot that your eyes can convey, and it's very like intentional that in those moments they just remove it. Blank eyes in just like there's no emotion there whatsoever. It's just death, kill. Fools! Who told you to retreat? Stand your ground! Stop that! We'll fall! Fuck. These are so beautifully drawn. Shave me! It's horrible. Bloody rain. Oh. Lord Griffith. Lord Griffith. Can you go on, Your Highness? Pippin, see to Griffith. Right. For now. For now, all I can think about is getting Griffith out of this place. Let's go. Don't fall behind Guts. What's taking so long? I hear voices, sir. It seems they've returned. Well, it's about time. How could a mere 4 insurgents give 30 men so much trouble? But Captain, sir, the Band of the Hawk means that 100-man killer. Simpleton, you really think the captain of the raiders would perform this rescue himself? Besides, you know that that's a story that happened in the confusion of a battle that has gotten exaggerated. Think about it. Where in the world is there anyone who could cut down 100 armed soldiers? At the most, a dozen or so. As a literal shower of bodies pours out of the tower. Perfect timing. Oh look, it's the 100-man killer. What? Covered in blood. I know him. It's Guts. The Hawks Raiders Captain Guts. The 100-man killer Guts. Captain! Wait. What are you doing? Surround him. Encircle him. But... idiots! He's run up all this way swinging that big sword around. See for yourselves. He's already out of breath. Now, that you mention it, you fools! In battle, if you let your opponent see you're winded, it's the same as throwing away most of your chance of victory. Watch carefully and learn the intensity of the battlefield. And you've just lost your head, sir. Whoop! As you see it literally spinning, his brain coming out of his head, and his eyeball out of his socket. Very beautifully drawn. Just the absolute fluid motion of the slice, the head spinning, the brain launching, the blood splatters. Masterpiece. And there it is, another shot there of the brain coming out of the back of the head, as Guts then proceeds to cut and slice his way through the rest of them. Guts! Sorry, can't hear you. Too busy removing heads from arms, and from limbs, from bodies, from faces, from eyeballs. Incredible. Like a whirlwind. Follow him. Aim. Stay your hands, fools. Oh, wow. It's the king. Excuse me. He has aged terribly this past 12 months. Jesus, look at him. I guess this is also emotional aging. The events of the past 12 months would have had a terrible toll on him as well. Look at that. He's like decrepit at this point. The princess. What would you do if it hit Charlotte? Your Majesty, but at this rate. Never. Absolutely nothing must ever happen to expose the princess to danger. Withdraw your troops immediately. It's hostage situation time. And there he is. There, he spotted Griffith getting carried away. Damn you. Damn you, Griffith. You should have rotted away beneath that tower long ago. You've crawled out from the depths of darkness to take my Charlotte again. So, you would steal my light and run. I won't let you. God, that face. Majesty. Bakiraka. Sire? Summon the Bakiraka. What is the Bakiraka? The Bakiraka? What the fuck is this? What the hell is this? A way through, end. What is this? This is new for me. It's the budget God Hand group. Got Skinny Wolverine, you got the Hulk, you got Aquaman with his trident. What the hell is going on here? That's the end of chapter 55. A way through. Let's push right into chapter 56, shall we? Because this is super bizarre. But I'm assuming it's pronounced Bakiraka. I don't know. That seems like the best way to say it, I guess. Bakiraka. Bakiraka. Chapter 1 of Bakiraka. I'm going to keep saying that word until it becomes normal. Look at that. Look at that opening panel. So, I don't think these guys were in the anime at all. Interesting group of people. Of individuals. Interesting. Bakiraka. These are... Captain, what on earth of Bakiraka? Please fill me in. I don't know much myself, but they're a fighting group from a people to the east. Highly skilled in assassination, they're also called a murderers guild and an assassination order. The full story is completely shrouded in mystery. And it also seems as if they're all essentially faceless. They don't want to bother giving details to their faces. I think that must be intentional. Faceless assassins. But there are stories claiming that in the former time of war, 100 rulers, vassals, and the like from assorted countries fell victim to them. In a way, they're more frightening than an army of 10,000. Assassination order? I never thought that they were employed here in Midland. Now listen. Do away with every last one of those trying to take the princess from this castle. Especially that Griffith. You must kill him by any means necessary. If to that end the 5 of you must cast away your own lives, I care not in the least. However, I will tolerate no harm to the princess. If by some chance even the tip of one of Charlotte's nails comes to harm, then the entire Midland army shall wipe the Bakiraka clan from the face of the earth until none remain. Now go! Present Charlotte before me, along with Griffith's head. Jesus. Guts has left a absolute god-awful trail of bodies in the streets. Somehow we made it this far, but the soldiers' attacks seemed to stop partway through. Did I imagine it? Jesus, Guts. He's completely out of breath. He scares me. Casca coming over to wipe the blood off, to patch him up. Ugh. At least wipe the blood off. The princess is frightened. And this is it. This is a really interesting shot, because Griffith is doing nothing at this point but observing, because it's all he can do now. He can't speak. He can't move. He can observe. And what he witnesses is an intimate moment between his best warrior and his other best warrior. One that he had, two people that he thought he had complete control over to do his will. They would bend to his destiny, to his dream, right? And Casca would give anything, previously would have given anything to Griffith, to please Griffith, to do whatever he said. He thought that Guts might have done the same to serve him in his dream. That was obviously shattered for him when Guts fought him for his freedom and won and left. That completely shattered Griffith's perception of the people underneath him, especially for Guts. And now you can see that Guts has clearly influenced and changed Casca in Griffith's absence. And it's communicated only in this shot. That's it. It's communicated in him just looking at this. Because look at him. Just watching. Now let's hurry. Once we get underground, we're good to go. And they're hiding in wait. The assassination order. Just when I'd served for 5 years straight in the palace and thought I'd finally had the honor of attending to the princess, what did I do to deserve this? What about my remittance to my parents? I'm sorry, Anna, but take heart. Yes, I know. I'm desperate anyway. I'll stay with you to the ends of the earth. Highness. I don't mind. This way it's easier to run. She's changed somehow. Yes, I don't care how I look. The warm fireplace, the waiting servants, I don't need them. It's alright if he can't speak. I'm sure even his wounds will heal. We'll be together. Forever and ever. She loves him. Despite the fact that he is literally like a skinny little rotten carrot right now. A little carrot has been peeled and broken. And she loves that carrot. Wait! What's up? Shh. God's analysing every single sound. He's like, rat in the water, rocks falling into the water. Huh. And skinny boy doing the splits above them. And he is like standing above them, waiting to just take a small dumpy, just a little poop, right onto them. As he swings down viciously in a way that I can't even see. Get down! Swinging those blades at him. Oh, that face. Look at that. What even is this? What even movement is going on right now? Back out into the darkness. It's like a spider. What was that? Be on guard, it's still nearby. Oh, hello. And coming up from the water, from underneath Casca's legs. Oh shit, it's Aquaman. I stab the trident, Casca blocks it. Jesus. Looks like some monsters are living beneath Wyndham. Bakiraka. Eh? A mercenary band, but specializing in assassination. I'd heard that each and every one's a superhuman monster, but these guys surpass even the rumor. To think that he'd sick them on us, the king must have really snapped. Oh, and here we go, we've got another one. We've got the small guy with a little tranquilizer dart. Oh, and he's going for Griffith, even though he's got a helmet on, so I mean, good luck. Oh, she took it to the arm. Well, you fucked it. You fucked up. You've literally just damaged Charlotte. There you go. That's you've sealed your fate. That's how you get your clan wiped off the face of the earth. Charlotte blocked it right in the arm. Griffith noticed that too. Highness. And that's the end of Bakiraka chapter 1. What a cliffhanger to end on, because is that a point? That would be lethal. They need to kill Griffith, right? That would have been a lethal dart. Not just like, oh, go to sleep now. That's probably one of the most lethal pieces of poison that you could find. Interestingly enough, we've got the cover art for volume 10 as Bakiraka chapter 2, you know, Skull Knight and Guts. Let's continue. Highness! Your Highness! He jumps out as Guts tries to slice him. Well, you guys are fucked now. You gotta leave. Your Highness! Your Highness! Don't move. As he comes down, look at this guy. Blundering fool. Wait. An exchange. Exchange? We want you to hand over the princess. In exchange, we guarantee her life. Say what? The blow dart which struck the princess was poisoned. If left untreated, she will surely die within a short time. We possess the antidote. Don't worry, it will go badly for us if she dies. Now, what will you do? Highness. Alright, we'll grant your exchange. You sure? There's no room for choice. It's unavoidable. Good. You there, maidservant, bring the princess here. You are outside our contract. If you don't resist, we won't kill you. Your Highness, please hang on. Ooh, hang on. No, she grabs at Griffith. Together. Together, always. As they share a brief embrace. And he tries to speak. Well, everyone, it was a short while, but thank you for everything. Thanks. So they share a last, like, loving look. Griffith can't say anything, unfortunately, as much as he probably wants to say something. I actually genuinely couldn't even imagine what Griffith would say in this moment. Oh, And through the shadows is the woman. This way. And then, now then, we take your lives, because why would you trust an assassin? And he's back up with the trident. It's like, I don't know what you were expecting, bud. You literally went for the biggest dude. You went for Pippin first. That's a mistake and a half. that goddamn face. He's like, ha! I've got you now. Nope. Pippin's about to just try. And he missed with the hammer. He's gone back into the water. He has won with the water. Everyone's like swinging massively, trying to block the blows of Skinny Wolverine. God damn it. Form a ring around Griffith. Now! Hang on, what's the... Oh, it's club wielding, man. It's Hulk. Hulk comes out with a big harpoon. There you go. Swing. Guts blocks that with his sword. It's going to push him back. Yep. Right back into the water. You okay? Stay focused, stupid. What was that? A javelin. It just felt like a cannon. They're sniping us. Douse the light. Don't. That frog thing's still around. That frog thing. Here comes the next. Get down. Fuck, Guts blocks that one again as well. It just pings off the walls. His aim's dead on. We're going to die before we can get close. Now what? I'll put out the light. I have an idea. An idea? No time to explain. Pippin, when I give the signal, hit the wall as hard as you can with your warhammer. Time for my street show. Guess you can pay for admission later. Alright, lights is out. You can't see. Fools. They've put out their light. The hook, claws, and harpoon will rip you all apart. Judo, with his goddamn throwing knives. Judo. What is he doing? Okay, so he's throwing his knives, bouncing off the walls. Oh, the spark is making light. The spark of the knives, that little arrowheads hitting the wall. Yeah, the sparks. So he's causing light based off that. I see him! And then he throws multiple right through. Yeah, wow. Judo. That's fucking fantastic. Throws it to create the sparks to ricochet, making light. And then spots him. Boom! 2 right in the throat. Jesus. Now, Pippin, hit it as hard as you can. We'll see the enemy by the sparks. And he smacks the wall, yep, and then he sees them all there, and then they take their shots. Fuck, that was so good. Cleanly takes out the other two. Takes out Aquaman and Skinny Wolverine. Through the head as well. And that's the end of Bakiraka, chapter 2. That was so cool. Alright. We'll move right into chapter 58, final chapter of today's episode. After slicing the head clean off of that dude and stabbing through the throat of Aquaman, Flower of the Stone Castle, final chapter of today. God damn, look at that. Double kill. Took them all out. We just got the woman left, right, with Charlotte, so she would have probably already left. I'm pretty sure the one with the dart was killed early on. Phew. Way to go, Judo. You use sparks to see the enemy's position. The javelin striking the wall and scattering sparks made me think of it. I never thought it would work this well. Judo, light the lantern again. Okay. Hey, you smell something? What is that? Don't light it! What's wrong, Pippin? Run to the exit! Oh, it's, they're gonna... Is it gas? They're gonna light it, try and light up the sewers. Titties. Nice. She can... Oh, so she was doing some like gas stuff. Makes sparks with her bracelet. Lights up the place. Explosives down there. I don't know why. I don't know why she needed to be naked, but she was like, here's my titties. Goodbye. Get blown up. Fire. Why? The dust caught fire. If it catches up to us, even our lungs will be burned black. Hurry! You gotta be kidding. And there's goodbye to all of the bodies. Well, there's no way they're getting Charlotte back. Not good. Pippin? Oh, and he smashes the top of the tunnel to see light. Get down! Oh, interesting. It gets sucked up through the top. That's cool. Very smart, Pippin. Very clever. What happened? The same accident happened at a mine I used to work in. Fire will gush upwards to a wider space. Wow, that was quick thinking. Griffith showed me the little bit of moonlight coming through the ceiling. Oh, is that what he did? Oh, he did. Because Griffith noticed it, pointed Pippin up there to see it. Wow. Great work. Interesting. There you go. Griffith did. He smiles at him. Let's hurry. The exit's not far. Oh, she's dead. Like, why? What did she think was going to happen? Like, what did you think was going to happen? You literally returned the poisoned daughter back to the king. Anyway, she put her clothes back on. There you go. And now she's dead. Didn't I tell you? I'd never forgive you if any harm came to the princess. On top of that, you let him get away. And you, all the time her maid, you were helping to promote this scheme? Wait. Anna wasn't involved. I forced her to be a part of it. So let Anna... Oh, Highness! Please, forgive Anna, Your Highness. Of course, of course. Now, you don't worry about a thing. Just get rest. Also, let Lord Griffith go. You and he still... Lord Griffith can no longer speak or move his hands or feet. He suffered enough in the darkness a whole year. Surely your majesty is satisfied by now. Please, don't take anything else away from him. Very well. I will not interfere with that man again. You may be at ease. Really? I swear. So you should cease worrying about anything and give yourself over to rest. Thank goodness, Your Highness. I will see you to the palace, Your Highness. Thank you, Father. Interesting. Majesty. Yep. Send out the black dogs. You really think that he's gonna fucking give that up? He's just like, I'll tell you what you want to hear, but I still have work to do. I've got vengeance to be had. Send out the black dogs. The black dogs? You can't mean a bunch like them. Order the Black Dog Knights to pursue Griffith's party and annihilate them. Majesty, please reconsider using men such as those. Slap. Tell the leader of the Black Dog Knights Wild. Oh, hang on. I thought he was naming... Tell the leader of the Black Dog Knights Wild. He can name his position and reward if he brings me Griffith's head. Why must His Majesty use such scum? Captain, I mean, I know that the Black Dog Knights are made up of former criminals, and it wasn't as much as the Band of the Hawk, but didn't they do really well in the war? You fool! Do not refer to them as knights. They're a disgrace to the Midland Army. Besides, that man... Sir? That man called Wild. There's something strange about him. He's like a beast. Ooh. Huh. That's very reminiscent of, it's very reminiscent of the Black Swordsman arc with the heretics, like, worshipping the literal Satan, like, Baphomet statue. Yeah. It's like very reminiscent of that scene. He does look like a beast. That man's huge. What the fuck? Boss, we've got orders to move. Can't you tell by looking, moron? I'm busy now. I'm getting laid. Besides, I gotta go take care of a little business today. Oh yeah? But it's an order, direct from the king. Something about the boss of the Band of the Hawk breaking out of jail or something? What? Now that's funny. The business I mentioned, it's him. Oh, the fuck? Jesus. It's with that Hawk boss. Flower of the Stone Castle. End. We're getting into uncharted territory. This is a... Ooh. This is a very ominous ending to the episode, everybody. There's a thunderstorm rolling in. I don't know if that just got captured on my... I don't know if you guys heard that. Ooh. And with the end of this Berserk episode, a thunderstorm rolls in to really just bring the ominous cliffhanger to a mood here. Darkness and evil is approaching. This is wild. This is wild and wild. This is brand new, which is actually really cool. This certainly wasn't in the anime, so it turns out that there is actually some stuff still within the Golden Age arc like this that I have no idea what this is about. So Wild has some business with the Hawk boss. Beast vs. Hawk. Let's see what that means. So next episode, guys, will be chapter 59 and beyond. So we'll see what happens with the Black Dog Knights that should not be referred to as knights, apparently. Criminal scum. So we're at the end of end of volume 10 as well. So we'll be starting with volume 11 next time as well. So thank you so much for watching and reading and listening along with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Berserk reading, and I'll see you next time.